Hey everybody, this is the fifth call for Team Relentless in 2015, and we have Katie Greene, who is part of our team, Diesel Nation, on, and I'm excited to hear what she has to say. We've already gotten a couple questions, and she's going to address them at the end. Keep rolling in your questions, post them in the event invite, and I will relay them to her. That way she can get to them. But a few, pieces of business before we start. I have an announcement for recognition, and Gabriel Means, who is now a brand new 2-star as of today. This is a big part of your business. This is where you really start to see the growth in your income, and it is a really big part of your business on helping you create more volume and have the opportunity to have people join your team when you are about ready to open up your second business center. So if you don't know what that means and you're on my team, reach out to me or your sponsor so we can help you, but this is a big monumental day for her, so we want to congratulate her. She's put in a lot of hard work, and there's been little snafus here and there, and she's rolled with it, so we want to say that we're proud of her. A few other things is that I'm hoping everybody listened to the National Wake Up Call. It was big because it was about the launch of 21 Day Fix Extreme. This is the first new release or product launch for the year. We see huge success with coaches because of the fact that there's a new product out there. Everybody has, fitness ADD, and there's a lot of people out there like me who wants to own every program, and this just broadens our horizons of people to help, because a lot of these people find programs and they want to try new ones because they love Beachbody and they love what the products have done. And the great thing is that we have so many products now from the time that I became a coach, or when my coach Becky became part of the organization, that now we can help more people, because one thing that I've realized is that you can't just sell whatever challenge pack is on sale or whatever new product is out and have it just fit somebody. So you have to find what works for each person based on their goals, their fitness level, their likes, their dislikes. For me, like I'm doing Insanity Max 30. I'll be honest, I was talking to one of my coaches today who's doing it. We both hate it. Not because the program is not great, but it just is, like, I hate cardio. And I'm thinking, what am I thinking starting this? It's so intense. I broke my toe, went through a big bout of depression at the end of the year, and now to jump in with something so intense has been difficult. I'm very thankful for my friend Danielle Katz, who is the modifier on there. But, my point is, when you sell products to somebody, it doesn't always fit them. 21 Day Fix launched last year, a year to the date that 21 Day Fix launched this week on February 2nd, and we sold out like 3 times within the first, I think, 48 hours, less than 48 hours. It changed everything. But there was the people out there who were saying, like my coach Becky loves to go in and feel like she's dying, like Insanity Max 30, Insanity, these programs are for her. So there's people out there, she loves 21 Day Fix, but wanted something more intense. So Autumn delivered it to the public, and Beachbody heard that, and that's one thing that keeps me really loyal to our organization, is they listen to us. So if you have any suggestions, complaints, things that are going on, make sure that you convey them to Coach Relations, because we actually are heard, and I've seen how everything's changed with meal plans, workouts, things that are offered to us as coaches and to customers, and this helps us grow our business. This helps us reach more people. This helps keep the longevity of our career and the organization, because we can keep helping people. We don't just have one product that never changes and it was take this or leave it. We're always out there, and it's very obvious that we are working for the public and for the consumer, doing what's good for them. So make sure that you listen to that call, because there is a part that Carl talks about, that if you are a new Emerald, if you're one of the top top Success Club point earners, you get this thing. He didn't even actually, I don't think, say what the name was, but he hates vegetables. He said that if he eats something, he'll have like this mini puke come up. So the thing is, here's this person that you think, oh, so healthy and all this. He doesn't like vegetables. That's why he created Shakeology. So here's your chance to go out and shine, go out and step out of your comfort zone, reach as many people as you can, invite them to join you for the same reason that you joined. For whatever reason it is that made you decide to become a coach, go and tell the world. Not everybody is going to be motivated and want to sign up because of your story, but there are plenty of people out there who want the same thing. Oh, my heater turned on, sorry. That you've benefited since you joined Team Beachbody. And I see and hear so many people who think that the promotions, the recognition, the prizes, and these contests are really geared towards elite coaches. I've heard this, and that could not be any more wrong. They are geared for everybody, and the people who go out there and work for it and consistently do it, and they do it because it is natural to them and because they want to. They have found their passion. They have their story of why they joined as a coach. They go out and they use that as their drive to never give up, to keep constantly striving to be better, embracing the 3 vital behaviors, and then that's why you see a lot of people on, recognition when it comes to these, promotions and things that Carl offers, because they're the ones that are out there doing it instead of saying that they're not good enough or somebody else could get it. So, you have the chance now because this is just to all the emeralds. So they're leveling the playing field right now. So all these people out there who I'm sure think that only the elite coaches or the top coaches get it, you have the chance now. This is open to just the emerald coaches. This has nothing to do, Katie and I can't get it. So go out there and realize that you can do it, and then see yourself as one of these elite coaches and see yourself as one of these people that can do it, because we're no different than you. We started off just like you. We get up and, go through the same things with life as parents, as many of you do who are parents and struggle with different things. So make sure that you're not sitting there watching on the sidelines saying, oh, that's great, but I can never do it, or, that's easier for them, because trust me, we're all the same and we all struggle. We just never give up. The last thing I want to say before Katie gets on is that if you're a Diesel Nation coach or you're a Team Relentless coach, I've been talking about it all the time, and I hope that nobody's been ignoring me or not really taking time to understand what I'm talking about, that we are doing the push that starts on Monday. Registration closes tomorrow. I know there's a lot of people who say, doesn't understand what's going on, thinks that different things and closes their mind to it. Think if you're a coach and you've been out there presenting the Beachbody Challenge to people, presenting the coach opportunity to people, telling them about Shakeology, and you're wanting them to join you for whatever reason it is that made you become a coach, and you're getting no's and you're getting rejections, and how frustrating that is. Well, don't do the same thing to all of us when we're presenting something to you. Make sure that you are really thinking about it before you just automatically do the natural tendency to say no when something sounds like it could be more pressure, it could be scary, it could make you, be forced outside of your comfort zone, make you work harder. Make sure that you really open up to this, because you're here for a reason, and the biggest thing is that you deserve this and you can do this, and I have done, I think a pretty good job of explaining why we're doing this, what you're going to get out of it, so that I clarify that, anybody who assumes it's a certain thing, but I did a video today where I talked about is that this push is open to anyone on the Diesel Nation team. We are doing a team-wide training where all of the leaders within Diesel Nation are working together. We are working together for you. We have remained in the top 1% of the organization because of our best practices that we are going to share with you. Everybody who is registered had to submit an application. This application was not just for busy work, just for formality. Christina literally went through every application and read it. You are that important, and this training is literally geared for our team. We're not teaching any different principle than any of the other top coaches are doing or that corporate's doing, but we are gearing the curriculum or based on the things that you have shared you struggle with or hold you back, or that you need to improve, or that you need better clarification of. So this is for you. So if you're out there, know that you're heard, but make sure that you're taking part in these things that we're doing for you. This is not really a contest. This is not a competition. This is not really a challenge. This is a 6-week training from getting to learn from people who you have watched succeed. You have watched come home to their families, watch pay off debt, go on trips, do these things, watch grow and change. So now you get to learn. So if you are one of these people who said, I am never successful, I've been trying for a year, 2 years, whatever, and I can't make it work, well, then this is why you should be here. This is why you should join this. This is new material. This is geared just towards you. And if what you were doing hasn't worked, we're going to tell you how we do it, which has worked, and you can implement it. So make sure that you join this. This is a huge opportunity. I'll be delivering the training into the team, but here's the thing. We made an incentive. We made it so that it would be fun. This is where you're going to work together. It makes you more part of the team. You learn the teamwork, and you're not doing it alone. There's other people out there who've struggled with the same things, hit the same brick walls as you, so you get to work together. So we thought, okay, this will be great. Everybody can pay money into this. And it's not like you're paying for the training, you're paying in there for the pot so that you have a pot of gold to go after. You have a little more extra incentive because, face it, a lot of us, money is big. To pay our bills, to pay off debt. I've heard from people what their goals are, what they want to do with the money. So at the end of the course, the 6 weeks, if you make the qualifications, which have been laid out very fairly, and with a lot of thought behind it, so I don't want anybody saying it's fair or not fair. We've done this to try to help people. We have set qualifications out there, not that somebody's disqualified, but you have to meet qualifications so that everybody, it's fair. All the diamond coaches can be in there and take part in it, but at the end, if you meet the qualifications, everybody gets to split the pot. How many times have you done a Super Bowl pot or, biggest loser challenge at work? This is the same thing. So this isn't a competition. Nobody is going in there saying that they're going to, compare themselves or compete or ridicule you for, the things you have been maybe weak on or not understood. Everybody's coming in here for the same reason. So make sure that when you come in here, you realize that the $25 is going to be basically for knowledge, and it can help fund everybody's dreams. Go in there, learn from it, and don't see this as a competition or that you're going to fail. Go in there with a great attitude, because I'm really pushing that everybody work together, to keep it encouraging, and that you really focus on yourself but helping others and just working together so you don't feel alone on your struggles. So I'd like to see everybody on my team register. I have told everybody, if you are one of my personally sponsored coaches, not just somebody in my downline, and you reach Emerald, I'll give you your $25 back. So you're out no money. You have, if you hit Diamond, I'll give you $100 if you're my personally sponsored coaches. So there's another one of these incentives. And and even if you're a brand new coach and you think, God, I can't hit Diamond in 6 weeks, because you would really have to work there. And like I said in my last video, I'm not saying that you can't do it or you won't do it, but it would be a little bit difficult. So instead of looking at this as a contest or a challenge or that you're going to fail at, look at it that you're a new coach and that you can start growing your business, and this is a great way to come onto this team and learn training so you don't have to sit idly and then try to figure it out 6 months from now or when we do the next one. Jump in and get your feet wet. This is going to be perfect training that we have found is what people struggle with. So come in and say, this is a great program to learn, and now you'll get this content, you'll get this material put together that you can use as you start building your team. Because there's a lot of coaches who come on and they're just kind of struggling, and they sponsor 2 coaches as Emeralds and they don't know how to train them. This is perfect. Go in there with the intention that you're going to come out with the most knowledge and the most confidence, and don't say to yourself, I'm not going to do this, I can't do this, I probably won't. Because you're right. If you don't think you can do it, if you don't think you're worth it, then you're going to go in with that shitty attitude, and when things get tough, you're going to easily just bow out and say, I'm going to go do this instead, or oh, I'm going to skip this day because I'm not going to hit Diamond anyways. I'm not going to succeed. So you're going to project your fears, and your biggest fear is going to happen. So make sure you go in there and do it. Just do it, because you'll never know. The worst thing I think is that you might have been going back and forth for the last 10 days thinking about joining the push, and then don't, and then watch people 6 months or 6 weeks later reaching all the goals that you have had all along, and knowing that you should have invested the $25. Like I said in my other videos, and Christina said, we are not forcing you to do anything. You don't have to get on extra calls. You're not going to kick out of the group. This is on your own, choice, on your own free will. You set the pace. So that should take some pressure off, that you don't feel obligated. So if you have any questions about the push, let me know. Tomorrow's the last day to get registered. It's going to be big. We've been working really hard. I've been working really hard. I have like a full message box and things that I've neglected to help with this content. So this is geared towards you. We want to help you, and make sure that when you're in there, you get the most out of it, because we have put in a lot of heart and soul and time just for you. We all want to see you succeed, and we all want to be there with you when you do reach your goals. So I'm going to turn it over to Katie. She is a fellow elite coach. I can't remember her rank. She'll have to tell you again. I'm sorry. I posted it earlier, but I don't remember. So, Katie, you have it.
Okay, let me know if there's any issues with anything. This is the first time that I've ever done like a non-1955 traditional call, and so if I'm a little awkward, then you know, just bear with me. So I'm going to try to adjust to 2015 technology and talk to you guys about what I was invited to talk about. So a little bit about my story and my background. I became a coach in 2015, and I really signed up initially for the discount. My coach, Amy Capola, had actually sold me the challenge pack for Pump and Shakeology, and I was a customer for a few months and decided, well, she had done a post, and it was something about, you know, I need 2 coaches, and I totally fell for that and thought, oh, she needs 2 coaches on her team. Well, you know, let me write her and find out what it's about. And so I thought that it was like a special position on her team, and I joined. And so initially I thought, you know, I like the products. She explained it all to me, and I thought, I have nothing to lose. You know, I'm already drinking Shakeology. I already like it. I've already seen some results. So let's go for it. Let's get the discount. So I did that, but secretly in the back of my mind, and this is actually something I told her, I said, you have to tune into the call tonight because I've never told anybody this. But secretly in the back of my mind, I thought that I would become Amy Capola, and I would start working out, and I would be able to do Insanity and Asylum, and that I would get her body, and that I would look like her. And then, you know, I signed up, and I was still Katie Greene, and I wasn't Amy Capola. And so I kind of had to think to myself, where am I in this? You know, who am I as a coach? And I really, when I signed up, it was so difficult for me to get moving on this. She tried and tried and tried to get me on a getting started call, and I just kept procrastinating. And so I definitely wasn't the person that signed up and was like super eager. I've always said I did it for the discount, but I'm going to be honest with you, I did it more for the accountability, and I did it more to change who I was. And I thought coaching was going to magically transform me into this like super fit, like go-getter when it came to fitness kind of person. And once I signed up as a coach, that didn't come to fruition. And so I sort of felt lost for the first few weeks because I still felt like me. Nothing magically happened when I filled out that form and paid the $40. So I still felt like myself, and I kind of had to start from square one. Like, you know, she gave me the getting started call and went over the office, and I got the basics down, and then I joined a cup team, and the competitive nature in me sort of took off. And so I started to see this is fun, this is something I could really like get my teeth into and do. Not because I was looking at the paycheck, not because I was the person that was like perfectly fit and I thought I was an inspiration, but because I enjoyed people and I enjoyed connecting with people. And so that's kind of how I got started. It gave me energy as a stay-at-home mom. I had been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. Before that, I was an attorney, and actually I've been a stay-at-home mom 7 years now. When I started coaching, I was a stay-at-home mom for about 5 years. But so I got started, and what I had envisioned for coaching wasn't my reality. So what I had envisioned for myself was that I would become Amy Capola, and I was still Katie Greene. So what was there to do at this point? I've realized that I don't have to be super fit. I don't have to be able to do Asylum. My goodness, you'd have to call an ambulance if I tried to do Asylum. And what's really important is the connection with people. And so in doing so, this is what I've done. So I've really focused on what I'm not. You know, I am not a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. There's nothing exceptional about me when it comes to those areas of my life. And that's okay. And it hasn't deterred me from developing a successful coaching business. And the reason that I say that is because I've been able to connect with people on a different level. And this is what it is. I connect with people more on health than on their vanity. And if you feel like you're in a place where you can't talk about, oh my gosh, like I have this tiny waist and I'm wearing a size 2, that's okay. Like, don't feel like that's something that you need to do. For me, fitness and nutrition is a way for me to feel good about myself, to have energy, and to be healthy. I never have plans of being in a figure competition. My goodness, like my bikini pictures, I just look like a regular mom on the beach. Like, it's not about that for me. And the funny thing is, it's been my flaws that have actually taken my business to the next level. It's been the fact that I can open up about those things that have actually made my business progress. And so I would just tell you this. Don't let those imperfections and those insecurities about where you are in your fitness level keep you from getting started in the business, because being real and being sincere and connecting with people on a personal level is really what it's about. It's not about being perfect. It's not about the after picture. It's about the journey. It's about sharing those things, sharing the fact that you're struggling, sharing the fact that you have triumphs. I think that the overall theme of what I'm doing in my coaching business isn't, oh my gosh, look at me, I look so good. It's, I'm human. I care about my health. I'll never give up on myself, even though I'm not perfect. And I eat Thin Mints and drink wine before I go to Team Relentless calls. And that's okay. So the bottom line is, it's about connecting yourself and being authentic and real. People see that. It shows through. If you try to be something you're not, it's a death sentence. If you sign up as a coach and you go from, you know, taking pictures at the movie theater with an extra large popcorn, and then you become a coach and suddenly you're posting about eating vegetables all day and you're perfect, then people see through that. It's not real. There are coaches that are personal trainers. There are coaches that are nutritionists. But if that's not you, you need to be true to yourself. And you need to have realistic expectations about who you are in this business and finding just your place in it. I think it took me a little while to find my place, who I am in this. And that, you know, when it was all said and done, for me, it was about health, it was about nutrition, and it was about helping other moms and other parents in general have a business at home. And so I led a lot with the business because that was something that gave me passion. So I definitely think being multi-dimensional as a person, finding those things that are not necessarily health and fitness related, is important as well. So find the things that make you happy. Find the things that make you interesting. You know, for me, I moved into a new house and I needed to decorate my house, and so I talked a lot about that for a little while. I talk a lot about my kids. I talk a lot about my husband. I talk about how I hate laundry. Like, whatever it is that's in my life, I talk about it. But I'm multi-dimensional. I'm not just fitness, 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 nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. And so people see that I'm a real person. And I think that's so critical, is to see another side of yourself. Think of yourself as your social media needs to show your multi-dimensional self. You're not all about one thing. You know, you would be boring as all get out if that was how you were. So definitely think about the fact that you're a multi-dimensional person and that you have more to share than just fitness and nutrition. Find those things and definitely convey that on Facebook. So in the same regard, when I talk about being multidimensional as a person, I want to talk about being multidimensional when it comes to the business. Something that's really important is, you know, a lot of people want to push the products. Not push, but promote and share their experience. They want to share Shakeology. They want to share the fitness programs, and that's wonderful. But you also need to share the business. And the business doesn't just have a fitness and nutrition aspect to it. It has other aspects as well. Number one is, like I said before, is health. And a lot of people want to talk about how, you know, you probably won't see, and this is a personal preference, and again, like, there's a lot of really successful coaches out there that don't do it my way. And so by no means am I saying my way or the highway. I'm just giving you what's worked for me as an average mom who still has a little chub hanging over the jeans. So for me, focusing on health has definitely been the way to go. And I don't do a lot of challenges where I talk about getting hot or, you know, looking sexy. Like, that's not my thing. I don't like talking about that stuff. And so for me, it's been more, you know, I lost my dad when he was 62. And for me, it's more about health. It's more about living a long life with my family. I don't want to focus on vanity. My goodness, I'm headed straight for middle age at a rapid pace. And that's the last thing I want to center my life on. And so for me, I've really focused on the health and the wellness and the fact that I have energy and the fact that I can, you know, I'm trying to live a longer life, so I see my grandbabies. And that's something that's really important to me, and it's something that I definitely put focus on when it comes to my business. Another thing that you can talk about with the business is the relationships. Relationships with your challengers, relationships with your coaches. Again, it's multidimensional. So if you don't feel like maybe you're not the perfect image of a coach with six-pack abs, there's so much more to coaching than that. There's so much more to this business than the perfect physical image. And so, you know, think about that. Think about the fact that you have the relationships, the value of the relationships. And another thing that you can talk about is the finances. And a lot of people feel funny talking about the finances. I'm one of them. It wasn't the easiest thing for me to talk about, but I pushed through. This is all about getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that you're not comfortable with. And that's been something that I've had to deal with since day one. I would highly recommend that you think about ways that this is helping you financially. I don't care if it buys you a pack of gum. You know, people need to know how this is blessing you in a financial way. Think about the little things. I can still remember talking about bar lessons, or I don't have to get calls from Matt anymore, my husband, about how much money I spent at Target. And maybe those things don't sound huge, but there's so many moms that are getting those 3 p.m. calls from their husbands, and you know, I see that there's like $30 off at Target. What'd you buy? And so I don't have to worry about that anymore, and that speaks to other people. So think about ways that this business has helped you from a financial perspective. And I'm sure there's other areas, but the point is, think of this business as multidimensional. Don't think of it as just your body. Think of this business as offering so much more, because the truth of the matter is it does. I think something that's happened as sort of an unintended side effect of the fact that I haven't focused so much on my physical appearance, I haven't focused on being so perfect on Facebook physically when it came to nutrition or anything like that, is that I've been a strong recruiter. And I've given this a lot of thought because I get a lot of questions like, you know, how are you doing this? How are you finding business building coaches? I think that people look at me and they just think, if she can do it, I can too. And I think I'm not intimidating. You know, I'm just a regular mom living in a small town in Hampstead, North Carolina. Everybody knows I love wine. In fact, I think I had a chug of it right before the call on the film. Everybody knows that I love tortilla chips. I just ate some Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies just before the call. I don't hide those things. You know, everybody knows I value my health. Everybody knows that I'm not giving up on myself. But everybody knows that I love to eat and that I love wine. And that I work out, I exercise, but I don't ever look forward to those workouts. I can tell you that there may be 2 workouts in my entire life that I've ever looked forward to. I always feel good after, but I never want to work out ever, ever. So everybody knows that, and that's okay. The point is, I'm normal, I'm typical, I'm average, I'm not afraid to hide it. And people come to me because they're not intimidated. And I have nothing to hide, and I am myself. So I would definitely encourage you, you know, if you are a personal trainer, if you are really fit and you have that going for you, I'm not telling you to downplay it or try to be somebody you're not. But I'm telling you that if you're a Katie and you're just a normal, average person that wants to be healthy, then, you know, there's nothing wrong with that either. Just be yourself, be genuine, be authentic. Another thing that I think has helped me quite a bit is just is trust. Trust. The way that you are in your life outside of Beachbody makes a huge difference in how successful you are in this business. If people trust you, if people feel like you're somebody that they could join forces with, then they're going to come to you to be a partner in business. I mean, you have to think about this, and this is something I've thought a lot about lately. If you're going to a job interview and you show up and the person, you know, is sloppy, they don't necessarily, they're not articulate, they hate their job, maybe they're negative, you know, that all, like, would you really accept the job even if they offered it to you? You have to think about when you would go to a job interview, what impresses you? What impresses you about an employer when you go to a job interview? And so I've really thought about that with coaching a lot lately, is when I portray myself on Facebook or Instagram, which I really need to improve because I think I post about once a month. When I do those things, you know, am I showing somebody that people would want to join forces with? And so that's just something to think about. And I'm by no means telling you to make up an image that's not real, because that's not what I'm talking about. But show the sides of you that would attract people and draw people into you. And so a lot of that is normalcy, you know, just being a normal person that people can relate to and that they connect to. Connection is all about, oh my gosh, I feel the same way. You know, connection isn't, wow, she's perfect. It's, wow, you know what, that person is just like me. I struggle and I eat Thin Mints at 9 p.m. too. So definitely be thinking about how to be normal and how to connect with people. We had a call, and I'm about to wrap it up, but we had a call with Carl. I actually got extremely lucky, and I posted on the wall that I needed guest speakers. And I by no means earned this call with Carl Deichler, but he wrote me this message, and I almost dropped my phone. I was getting my hair done, and he said he was going to be on a call for our team, and so he did a call for our team, and something he said stuck out, and I think I've already repeated it like 20 times, but he said, I asked him, I said, what sets coaches apart? What sets the successful coaches apart from the coaches that don't make it? And he said that it's swagger. Swagger. And I thought, that's so true. It's swagger. And what I mean by that is, like, you may not feel like the Barbie doll. You may not feel like a fitness queen. But that doesn't matter. You need to find the areas that you're confident in. You need to find the things that you feel like, oh my gosh, like, this is what I'm good at, you know? I feel confident in the business side of this, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, I love leading my team. I love recruiting new coaches. I love getting them started. I love answering my coach questions, and I love motivating my team. So when I talk about the business, what I do is I talk about the business. I lead my Facebook with the business. That's where I'm confident. I'm not that confident in my body. I'm not that confident in my fitness level. People know I want to be healthy. People know I drink my Shakeology. I love my Shakeology. But my confidence is in the business, and my confidence is in helping other moms develop successful businesses. I'm confident as a mom. I know I love my babies. And so, you know, I find those things. I like decorating my house. I like doing those things, and I find the confidence in myself to post about the things that I feel good about. And I would definitely encourage you to sort of find, as Carl would say, your swagger. And don't get caught up on the fact that you don't have this perfect, beautiful, you know, result picture. Think about the things that you do feel confident in, and find those things and just project them on Facebook and attract people, because you're a real person and you're authentic and you're genuine, and they can trust you, and you're competent in the business. Be a business owner, be a leader, show them that you're capable of helping them develop a business. And when you do those things consistently, and I really mean consistently, I don't mean it's that you have to spend hours and hours a day. But what I do mean is you have to come, you have to show up, you have to show up. Can't take a month off, can't take 2 months off. If you do that, you're just showing that you're not serious. If you know, I have so many coaches that think, you know, I'm going to take 6 months off and I'm just going to do what I want to do and not talk about Beachbody, and then I'm just going to poof reappear and everything's going to be magical and my business is going to come back to life. And it's an uphill battle when you come back. I'm not saying you can't come back, but it's way easier to just be consistent all along. So find your confidence, find your groove, find the things that you feel good about, and be consistent and share those things. And that's all I've got.
So many good points. Like, I put notes on my phone that I wanted to kind of highlight. So first of all, where do I want to start? Little background, like Katie and I, we have totally separate lives. Like, she is this career, you know, she had a great career, and she got a good career, was successful, got married, had kids. I did it the exact opposite. I found I was pregnant on my 18th birthday. I had 3 kids by 3 different dads, lots of ups and downs, mistakes, like a really colored past, and things I'm ashamed of, you know. And here I am, you know, in Texas. You know, we're in different locations. You know, one thing she said was like, tell me what, you know, how to expound upon what I say. I'm a very, you know, short person. I get everything all bundled up nice and whatever, and it's probably from being in the law where you have to get your point across fast. And so I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, talky, I have to explain everything, and it takes a really long time, and I get sidetracked. And, you know, her delivery was perfect. It was very perfect, and mine's all over the place. And, you know, we found a common interest, the fact that we both really, I think it's safe to say that I hate working out, and I think she basically said the same thing in a nicer way. And she likes her wine. I like my beer. And, you know, I felt the same way. Like, you know, I thought, God, you know, maybe I've just never been around fitness because I never played sports. I never had to work out because I never struggled with my weight until after I had kids. And so I really thought that I would just love to work out. And I don't. And, you know, I struggled with that for a long time. I never really wanted to be Becky because I didn't really, after I did Insanity with her the first time I met her, I was like, oh, no, I don't want to be like that. But I just thought that I'd like to work out, and I don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. What we do as coaches, if you really dig in and have a relationship with people, there's so much more to it, and there's so many different facets. You don't have to have that cookie-cutter story of, you know, was 200 pounds and now I have like 6-pack abs and I do Tough Mudder a couple times a year. That's what people think you have to do, and it's, you know, society makes us think of what our, you know, what we presume before we become coaches has to be done. So we found that common interest. Like, me and her, we get it. Like, so, you know, there's not a lot of us on the team like that. Other people do work out. I think we're the two that openly say we hate to work out. I never look forward to it. It's the last thing I put off. I have to tell myself to do it, especially with Insanity Max 30. It's been really hard. When I broke my toe, it was kind of like, oh, you know, now I have a legitimate excuse not to work out. I'll just eat, you know, by the 21-day fixed plan. I'll do 3-day refresh. That's great. But the thing is, like she said, when she does it, she feels better. Part of my depression was because I wasn't active. I wasn't doing something every day to make myself feel better, because it is actually powerful if you hate to work out and you actually force yourself to do it. You feel good. I do feel better after. You know, PIO is great. I really think that PIO was created for me because I hate to work out. But it still was something that, you know, didn't just come naturally. I'd rather just sit and do nothing and drink beer. So the thing is, we both built a successful business. We've been successful coaches. We have helped other people successfully hit their health and weight loss goals and, you know, coaching business goals, not loving to work out. So that is the big thing, is to make sure that you don't feel like you have to be a certain person, and especially not your coach. And I think that's the problem, that, you know, one thing that I've been trying to communicate, that, you know, like her, she recruits people right away. I do more retail, like she said, and have more customers and challengers, and most of my challengers, takes a long time to get them to become coaches because they feel that they have to be like me, which I totally understand from her perspective. And I feel kind of honored. That was the first time she actually said this, you know, that we got the honor to, you know, that she shared this, and we also took her YouTube virginity. So, you know, the biggest thing is You don't have to have everything in common with somebody to connect with them. You can find a common interest like this, because the thing is, she felt guilty for a long time. I feel guilty. I just tried to like working out. But then it's comforting knowing that even if Katie's the only person in the world that doesn't like to work out, that she makes me feel like it's okay. And that's all it's about, it when you are out there recruiting people to join your team, to give them, you know, a chance at this opportunity. This is all it takes to help people who are, you know, you're inviting into your challenge group. You just have to find a connection. You don't have to have everything in common and agree on everything and like the same color and like to do the same things and eat the same foods on Wednesdays. It's just finding that common connection that makes people feel, you know, like they're understood, they're heard, that they're not the only one out there doing it, you know. And the biggest thing too that, you know, I want to tell you, Katie, is you are spectacular. You always have been. You are. And that was one thing I had a call today with one of my coaches, and this is one thing I want to share with everybody, and especially coming up with a push, is that, like you said, don't. The thing is, so many people. One of my coaches said today, I don't know what to say on social media, and she's like, I post pictures of my kid, and then I, do an inspirational quote. But the thing is, that doesn't draw people in so much, because they're not getting to know you. They're not getting to know your life. And I told her, I was like, you've been doing a certain job for a certain time. You go in every day to work, and the things that happen to you are normal. So you think you're boring. You think that you're not spectacular. You think that you don't have an interesting life. You don't think that anybody is going to care what you say. But the thing is, you have to understand, these other people who are on your Facebook or scrolling and find you on YouTube or whatever social media site you have, they think the same thing about their life. Because you don't talk to people, you don't know what they're thinking. So whenever you post something about your job, whatever it is, or even if you're stay-at-home mom and you're doing something, it's something different than their life. And so that does make you interesting. That makes you something where people are like, oh, I want to know what she does. I don't know what that's like. There are things that, dealing with your house, or there's different things that other people are going through that they can relate to, or it just breaks up the monotony of their life. So stop. Like I told the coach today that we had a call, I was like, I want you to be really cognizant and really pay attention to what's going on in your life. Don't just muddle through your work day because you don't want to be there. You'd rather be home with your husband and your kid, but you're there. So take advantage of your. One day I took a picture because I walked in the house, I was like, oh my God, we've learned to hate laundry as much as I hate to work out. And there was laundry piles. Most people would be ashamed of them. I'm like, but this is real life. So I was like, take a picture. I'm like, does anybody else hate laundry this much? I said, and instantly I had like 40 pictures posted to the comment section of people who were like, my laundry's all up on the top of my couch. It's all over here. It's all on counters, pool tables, whatever. And so they were like, okay, it's not anything I've ever seen on anybody's Facebook before, but that drew in a crowd. It didn't mean that I recruited a coach, but people were able to connect with me. An ordinary thing that our house looks like shit most of the time. It looks great now because the house cleaner came, but it usually looks like that. The fact that we're lazy when it comes to that is a normal thing. Well, I had a huge response where people were like, oh, okay, because you know how many people go to somebody's house for dinner, for some barbecue, and it's immaculate, and you're like, oh my God, your house is so clean. And they're thinking, this person has it all together, and I'm a slob. And then it causes that comparison and that, oh, I'm a failure, or that person's better, and you compare yourself to these things when we're just all normal people. Chances are that person paid somebody to clean their house, or they ran around frantically for days keeping it clean, or cleaning it up and keeping it clean. These are normal things, and the people were like laughing. They're like, I like that you're like a genius. You pop open the recliners, you have extra room, and we got to laugh out of it. And and through opening up, and one thing that Katie talked about is sharing stuff about your life. And I know that probably is scaring the bejesus out of people. And so that's one thing that I want coaches on my team, or people who watch this who I invite to be a coach on my team, is really that you don't have to be as transparent as I. You don't have to talk about that, oh, it's great now that I have some financial freedom where I don't have to worry about my husband drilling me about what I'm spending my money on, because that might be personal. You don't have to share all of that. However, it has helped us. I started off very slowly on a call that I was a guest speaker on last night. Somebody said, well, when did you start sharing all this openness about your drugs and alcohol and abuse that you endured and all these different things. I'm like, you know, it took a long time of being comfortable with who I was, realizing that, you know, I didn't really care what anybody thought, and it all became part of who I was after personal development. So these are things that you don't just have to jump in and be like, I'm going to throw it all out there like Mindy or Katie, because if you haven't done the personal development, if you haven't started to do things to work your confidence up slowly but surely, then if you do something like that, you're going to go into hiding. You're going to regress. So we just know that we've done this slowly, and these are the steps that, you know, we take, and we want to always go back so you all know where we came from, the fears that we had, and those things that do creep in from time to time. But we have this network, we have this, you know, community within, you know, Team Beachbody and the Diesel Nation. We are a family, and it has really been life-changing. It has helped us through things, and we've taken our story, whatever it is, and helped people. We have a different story. Everybody has a different story. Every person has a different reason why. You know, I've shared with people my reasoning. Now I want to help everybody have confidence, not feel alone, and, you know, have, even if I'm the only person out there who did something to want to make you a better person and want you to feel important, that's big, because nobody has that, and it's lonely and it's depressing, and I want to be that person to every person I meet. You know, there's no cap on that. That's why I want to do this, and that doesn't mean that you have to have that driving force or that, or why you do that. Usually people's why of what they keep doing this for and why they're here and what their mission is to help people is usually centered on something that they endured that was upsetting, and that Team Beachbody, something about what we do as coaches, has helped fulfill and helped them fix it or made them feel better or realize or whatever it is. So your why or driving force does not have to be the same as another coach. Your goal, your life, your story, your message is your message. Don't mimic one of ours and then think that you're going to have the same response, because if that is not truly something that's deeply rooted and you're passionate about and why you're actually doing it, you're not going to stick with it. It's going to come across as fake, because that's not that. So take time to work on yourself, embrace the 3 vital behaviors, make this something that is routine, and go in there knowing that you're not going to fail as long as you just put one foot in front of the other. And like one thing that Katie said that I teach to my team all the time is stop reinventing the wheel, you know, but make sure that what we are telling you, you don't think that you have to do exactly, that it's not gospel. You don't have to do exactly what we do. We're just telling you how we have used the 3 vital behaviors and taken advantage of everything that is given to every coach out there, and personalize it with our message and our emotions and our lifestyle to help other people. You have to do what we're doing. We're just putting it out there. And if you choose to do things different and deviate and reinvent the wheel like a lot of people do, that's fine. But do know that you can always try the things that you see other coaches doing and the tips that they give and the approach that they, you know, are sharing and that they use, and see if it works for you. And then as you do it, you'll have to be more confident. So with that being said, the last thing that I have to share that I forgot to say earlier is I had been using Hootsuite for a really long time to schedule my posts. That was back when I was working all the time. Well, one thing is Keyshawn, who I work with at the corporate headquarters in Utah, you know, she said, start, you know, automating some things. You know, and I was like, well, I don't want to automate it because it looks like it's, you know, forced and whatever. But she's like, you're running yourself ragged because you don't have some consistency. Like, I know that I will work late sometimes, and I'll wake up frantically, be like, oh God, I didn't post in my challenge group. And it's like 10 o'clock in the morning because I overslept because I work late. Then I'll post in there and I'll feel bad, and then you're apologetic, like, I'm sorry that I've been missing, you know, and you feel like you have to explain yourself, and it causes that stress. So make sure that you take time to have a business plan, because this is business, and really think about what the people in your challenge group are needing and lacking or struggling with, and gear your post towards that group. So it's personal, so not just in general, and schedule it. I've been using now Postcron. It's POSTK or CRON.com. I'll post it in the invite, but I've been using it. It's actually way better than Hootsuite, and you can post in your group. So I've been scheduling them at night at least. So in the morning they go at the same time, 7 o'clock a.m. So that, you know, because the thing is, you post 10 or 11 o'clock. Some people may just get on Facebook when they're driving to work. They shouldn't be doing that, but whatever. Or they're getting ready, and then they never get on and they miss those posts. So have it in there as early as possible so when people wake up, that's there, and there's a consistency, and you make sure that everybody's staying engaged and you actually are operating like a business. Businesses go in and they have a business plan and the steps to follow for opening up shops and closing down shops. So make sure you do see this as a business and make sure that you consistently do the things repeatedly that will alleviate stress and also benefit the people that you're helping. So that's it. Next week is our calls are back to the Wednesday night. I appreciate Katie you getting on. You had really great.
You see, you didn't have a question for me. Did you have one question?
Let me see if there's one. If anybody answered, hold on, because that one person asked about the recruiting. Oh, you did hinge on about how you recruit. She did ask at what point after you went Emerald did these things become natural to you, like about recruiting, because she is, struggling with getting people to recruit.
I don't know if there was ever a time that I was thinking, oh, this is so natural. I know that some of my initial early posts were kind of awkward, and I didn't know they were awkward, but they were. One thing that I will tell you is that at this stage of my business, when people come to me 9 times out of 10, they aren't coming to me to join a challenge group, but they're coming to me to coach. And unlike Mindy, we actually discussed this before the call started, and she was saying that she always has high volume. I mean, you see her name at the top of those charts all the time. So you will rarely see my name anywhere near the top. And one of the reasons for that is most of my Success Club points are all coaches. The reason I think that is because I sort of set the stage for coaching. I post so much about the business. It's something I love so much. I post everything that has been a blessing to me in the business. I post all the little ways that it's improved my life. And usually when somebody comes to me, they start with, okay, tell me about this coaching thing. And so I'm not sure that I necessarily initiate the conversation as much as I set the stage before they ever even write me. And I would definitely suggest that you consider how you are promoting the business before you ever even talk to somebody one-on-one, and how you're getting them interested in joining the business before they ever even message you, because you're planting those seeds by sharing your own life. Okay.
There you froze. Over here, there. And that's one thing that we talked about before we got on the call when I was telling Katie the question that was posed. And, it's really hard baseline. I know a lot of people will say, well, how long did it take there? And it kind of is a great benchmark, but it really depends on where people are at their confidence level and how consistently they're doing it and what their ability is to, build relationships with people and build trusting relationships. So everybody, is a little bit different. But, the thing with what Katie said that I want to highlight is that whatever aspect you market, that's what people are going to be drawn to. If you talk about coaching opportunity and just about the business versus, like she said, she never has like, a hot mom, challenge, those are going to be what people come to you for, what they're asking. For me, I am like, Brian said the Jesus of Beachbody, and Christina calls me the coach whisperer. I'm somebody who's like, if you're broken, if you've been abused, if you don't believe in yourself, if you lost your way, or if you are, fear failure, come to me. Let's work on fitness and everything. And those are the people who come and they stay in my challenge groups. They stay loyal customers. So I have high retail. They're the ones that take a long time to become a coach because of the fact that it takes me a really long time to help them overcome things, build up their confidence, which is, like I said, what my goal is. So that is what I market. That is what I share. I do for people. So that you set the precedent. You basically attract the people like you. Those are what your audience is, what you market, what you portray, the people you're drawn to. So the biggest yourself. Share what your passion is. Share why you did this. Share what your testimony is. It does not have to do with inches, pounds, muscles, but why you're here. There's a reason why you're here. And when you're trying to figure it out, if you don't know what it is, take off the table what you see with other coaches and what you see them post. Don't do that. That's the biggest thing I ask coaches in the beginning. What's your goal? What's your why? And people always say, because I want to help people. That they feel that they just have to say that. You don't just have to say that. You can say in the beginning you want to make money, and then that be your driving force. And when you keep doing it consistently, you'll save somebody's life. You'll change it, and then that will change everything. Your why evolves. So just make sure. I think the biggest thing on this call is don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't try to be somebody else. Just be yourself and share it at the pace that you feel comfortable. So keep doing it consistently. It's going to feel awkward, like Katie said. Like I told the coach today on the call, I said, you're a newish mom. I think around 6 to 8 months old is her baby. I felt awkward in the beginning. It was tough. It was overwhelming. You didn't know what to do. You tried all these different things. But when it didn't work, you didn't just give up. It was important to you. You loved your daughter. This is the thing, is it's not a person, but coaching can give you great satisfaction and long-term satisfaction like a child can. You try every avenue, try different things, look for help, do some research like people do when they're having problems with their babies, ask a question on Facebook, find the way, because it is important. It will get easier. It will become second, nature as you become more acquainted with what you're doing and comfortable with what you're doing. So there wasn't any other questions, because I think you did a jam-up job sharing it, and it was really easy to
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just don't forget, you are spectacular. All right.
Oh, you too. Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Bye.